Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Headset up here. Gain down here, right? Test 1 2. 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 Test 1. Nope, nope, nope. That's hot. Test 1 2. Check. Are we doing a national anthem tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you stand, turn your attention to the stars and stripes in the north end zone as we pay honor to America, our flag, and those who have sacrificed for the freedom we cherish this evening as we play our national anthem.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another season of Hernando Tiger Football. I'm Heath Hopkins. Along with me once again this season is James Bradley Bush. And Brad, it's been a long summer, but the wait is over, and we're here at the Jamboree to start the 2024 season.
Friday Night Lights, Heath, playing a little injured over here. Going to push through, leave it all on the field, as they say. Hope to be in mid-season form by mid-season. Going to have this taken care of, but we're going to push through and fight on. Beautiful night for football. A little warm still here late August in Mississippi, but looking forward to a great season. Year number 2 on Hernando Tiger Football for you and me, and year number, I don't even know, as friends. So glad to be by your side once again, and looking forward to a great season here.
I do believe this is year 19 total or year 20. We're somewhere around there.
Got to be getting close.
So as we approach, we'll just call it a couple of decades of calling games here in DeSoto County, we are tickled to death to get here and get this season going. We're here at Anthony Jenkins Field. It's the Jamboree. Lake Cormorant, our neighbors and friends from across the county, have just taken the field. Hernando's treating this more like a practice. And as they came to the sideline, they're ready to go. The band is not here tonight. The tailgate tents are not going in the end zone, but everyone is starting to come in. Brad, look at that parade of cars coming into the game right now. As we can see, it is almost all the way backed up to Mackinville, and parking's at a premium tonight.
Yeah, it looks like the fans need a little practice too here. They are indeed streaming in from Mackinville, and teams are on the field. Again, Lake Cormorant in the white jerseys. Your Hernando Tigers in their all-black uniforms, moving right to left on your screen to get tonight started. I believe we've got a 2-quarter Jamboree tonight, so again, not a full game, but we are going to keep score, and we are going to keep stats, and we are going to talk about it here. And we're almost ready for 2024 Hernando Tiger Football. Tigers looking to build on 4-6 record in 2023. Steve McCann in his 3rd season as the Tigers coach. Looking to take that next step forward. The Tigers stepped up in weight class last year, moved up from 6A to 7A, and looking to build on last year's experience.
It is Friday night, August 23rd, 2024, and the season has now started. A kick into the end zone for a touchback. Will Usselton gets things started the right way. The ball be placed here at the 20-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go for the Gators and our neighbors of Lake Cormorant.
Heath, I think you better get used to seeing a touchback off the leg of Will Usselton. That's going to happen a lot this year, probably a lot more often than it doesn't. And that is an invaluable weapon to have in your arsenal. You can make teams start at their own 30-yard line. You can prevent the long return, and it's just a weapon that you can't place a value on, especially at the high school level.
Well, so many people don't understand what that does for your team. That takes the playoff for your guys in coverage. Instead of sprinting down the field and being in pursuit, you now get a chance to rest those guys. Well, we got a little end around to start things off. Makes the corner, gets to the outside. Pick up of about 17 on the play. Running shot of midfield. It will move the chains. It'll be first down and 10 for the Gators.
That was wide receiver Zayden Reed on the end around. Quarterback for Lake Cormorant hands the ball off to him. Again, like you said, he's 17 yards around the right side. Brought down for the Tigers by number 5, Frederick Fluker.
3 down linemen for the Tigers. And they get pursuit in the backfield. Great pursuit by that D-line. A little extra after the play. So, Brad, tonight, as we're getting ready to get things going, here after this next play, we'll talk about our keys to victory tonight. This is a Jamboree. It is a glorified practice. This will not go on the official record. But we do kind of want to work out the keys to kind of get things rolling as you have that opener next week. Lake Cormorant stays in shotgun formation, working their way. Got some room to the left. Makes the corner. Nice spin move there. Falls down. Took over the invisible green turf monster. He's inside the 30. Brad, what is tonight's keys to victory?
Well, Heath, tonight's keys to victory brought to you by Sonic of Hernando. First one is trial by fire. You want to get game reps in a game like this. You want to get some time for your young, inexperienced players. The game's going really fast for those guys right now. You want it to slow down for them and learn how to make adjustments as games go on. We'll pause here for the play from scrimmage.
Nice pursuit right there. Backwards pass. Brought forward. Very nice covered. Nicely covered by the Tiger secondary.
Second key to tonight's game is to execute. This is really you can't duplicate game reps in practice, so you really want to capitalize, work on your timing, play as a unit, carry out your assignments, and really fine-tune what you've worked hard over the summer as you prep for Rosafort in the official season opener next week.
Runs to a tackle right there, works his way forward, and right now the Tigers are kind of caught on their heels right now. I will say Lake Cormorant has run this tempo offense. They're getting to the line fast and snapping it quickly.
Real quickly, our third and final key to tonight, Sonic Hernando, key to the game. Most importantly, you got to stay healthy tonight. That's what you want to see. Nobody gets hurt, no injuries. Again, as you've already alluded to, Heath, this is glorified practice. The season starts next week for real. Let's get some practice reps in, but let's avoid the injury bug.
And there you go. So we want to thank Sonic, Dean Darnell and Sonic go the extra mile for Hernando Athletics. Stop by for a cold summer treat. It's again Sonic of Hernando. We want to thank Mr. Darnell. Been a wonderful supporter of Hernando Athletics for many, many years. All right, Brad, second and goal here from the 1. Little Wildcat formation. Tigers meet him at the line. Woo! Wish we had replay on that one, Brad. I don't think he got in, but the official did signal that he did cross the play.
Well, you and I can't tell if he got in from the angle that we have. The referee said he did, but I'll tell you one thing, he was hit hard. I could hear the hit up here with the windows closed, the air conditioning running, and my headset on. So he really got walloped there, but the referees say he did cross the plane, and the Gators jump on top early here, 6-0, 9:02 left in tonight's first quarter of action.
It looks like they're going to line up and go for 2. You know, Brad, they're definitely going outside the guards on every play. They never went inside the guards. So I wonder if that's going to be something we'll see for the rest of the night. The 2-point conversion is good, so that's going to bring it about 9 minutes, 2 seconds here in the quarter. Lake Cormorant takes the lead on their opening possession and convert the 2-point conversion. 8-0 early for Lake Cormorant. Once again, we want to thank Sonic for being our scoreboard sponsor this year and also for our keys to the game. Well, Brad, it was a nice, long, warm summer. Did you get to go anywhere fun this year? I know you're a big Dave Matthews Band fan. I know you traveled to a lot of concerts. Did you make many concerts this summer?
Heath, I did not, but we actually leave Wednesday, headed out to the beautiful state of Washington, out in the middle of the Washington Desert, amphitheater there called the Gorge. It's on the Columbia River, and it is a one-of-a-kind experience, probably second only in my mind in terms of outdoor amphitheaters to Red Rocks, the famous Red Rocks in Colorado, which I have not been to. I've been to the Gorge many times, but we're headed out there and taking the wife out there. She's the big fan, and I'm a big fan of hers. So I tag along and get to see all the sights and enjoy the weather out there. I'm sure it'll be a lot cooler than it's supposed to be here next week. Heath, I'm seeing numbers that start with 9 creeping back into the forecast after a beautiful week of weather here in the Mid-South. Temperature's going to start creeping back up, reminding us, I think they call that false fall.
Yep, that's right. It all happened more than once. Is what it is. You know, I've always said the end of August and the beginning of September is usually the absolute hottest, most miserable time of the year here. And it was not that way this week, but next week, it's back to normal. Well, I'm starting to see why Lake Cormorant went for 2 there. Tigers need to get on the ball. Not much of a return.
Heath, it looks like we have a rule in place tonight, maybe where we're not going to return the football. Maybe it's down wherever you field the kick. I'm sure that's for safety reasons. I'm sure the coaches agreed to that in pregame because as we talked about, kickoffs are one of the main times when you see a young man get hurt, and I'm sure the coaches agreed to that. So it looks like the Tigers are going to start on their own 30-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go.
Well, 9:02 here in quarter number 1. First play for offense of the season. Gets met at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a second down situation.
Heath, number 1, Saxon Douglas. We called that name a lot last year. He moves into starting role again this year. And he's joined in the backfield for the Tigers by number 17, Brandon Overstreet, who has a live arm and who in a lot of ways is a duplicate of Topher Jones, who, of course, graduated and completed his eligibility, as they say, and look for big things from Brandon this year. He's got a live arm, and he's a mobile. He's a pocket passer, but he's also mobile and can get outside and break tackles if he needs to.
3rd down and 8.
Tigers showing tempo here. Quick snap. Lake Cormorant was not ready. Nice coverage there. Dropped him there in the backfield. There'll be a small loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down situation. Tigers are going to stay out in the field. Once again, this is a glorified practice. Doesn't mean much if you kick or not. If you want to get practice with special teams, you can. If you want to go for it, why not? It does not go on your official record.
Well, it looks like, Heath, they are going to bring in a punt unit now, and Brandon Overstreet's going to drop back into punt formation.
Brandon Overstreet set to punt for the Tigers.
Very wide splits by the O-line there for the punt team. Ball fair caught there at the 43. That's where Lake Cormorant will take over.
Heath, we'll take a quick look at our visitors from Lake Cormorant tonight. Tigers are 5-4 all time against the Gators. Last meeting was 5 years ago tonight, August 23rd, 2019. A 38-21 Gator victory. Lake Cormorant opens their official season at Lewisburg next Friday. Again, the Tigers will be here at Anthony Jenkins Field, Tiger Stadium, hosting the Lions of Rosafort High School out of Tunica. Again, the official opener for both teams next week. And we look forward to seeing you here with us or online with us on the broadcast.
3 down linemen for the Tigers. Make that 4 down linemen for the Tigers. Nice shoot right there. And right now, Lake Cormorant, they're running wide open right now on offense. They're figuring things out very quickly. They're using their speed. Brad, they're not doing anything on the inside, but they're finding much success on the outside right now.
Yeah, Heath, that was just a quick out. Blake Beal, the quarterback, number 15, to Tylen Matthews, number 9, 6 foot, 170-pound junior. He ran about a 5-yard out pattern, sat down in the defense, caught the ball, and off he ran for a 70-yard touchdown. A 60-yard touchdown. Second of the night, 14-0, 6 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the open quarter. 14-0 Lake Cormorant over the Tigers.
Officially in the book, it's 57 yards for the touchdown. 2-point conversion is no good. So the one-play drive is over very quick. That's actually not a bad thing, Brad. The offense can get back out there and kind of get things going. Defense, I'm sure the coaches will be talking to them in detail there on the sideline. But right now, Brad, this is exactly what the Jamboree's for. You want to come out, and if you come out slow or butterflies or things aren't flowing and clicking just yet, that's exactly what this game is for. The Jamboree game is nothing but a glorified practice with your game uniform on, and your neighbors get to come out and watch.
Yeah, Heath, and you mentioned it. And obviously, you don't want to give up a one-play touchdown drive. But in a game like this, you almost are more focused on your offense, right? Because that is the one that's based on timing. It's based on, set plays. Not that your defense is not, but there's just a lot more that has to click to run an offensive play of football than on defense. And as you said, just more time for the Tiger offense to get out there and iron out the wrinkles.
All right, here we go. We're going to tee it back up. We're going to get things going here. As you look at the Sonic scoreboard, 6 minutes, 25 seconds remain here in quarter number 1. Only 2 quarters tonight here in the Jamboree. I think we'll play a little loose with the rules and the clock, as we mentioned. We're kicking off, but we're not necessarily returning. Lake Cormorant with their second kicker of the night, so they're still trying out kickers, Brad.
Well, that was quarterback Blake Beal handling the kickoff duties there for the Gators. Seemed to have a little bit more behind it than the first kicker that we saw. But, again, that's what tonight is for, feeling your way through things and finding out who your best players at key positions are. And certainly even at the high school level, the kicker it can be a weapon, as I mentioned earlier. Tigers have a strong one there. And this again, as you said, Heath, this is when you iron out things and figure out who's going to play where and who you can count on in big situations.
All right, Tigers stay in shotgun formation. Overstreet hands off to Douglas. Not much there up the middle. And it'll bring up second down. Brad, sometimes with the offensive linemen, sometimes you have problems just getting your splits right when you first start practice. But sometimes it takes, a little bit for that unit to work as one. And right now that offensive line, they are got their hands full right now, but they're trying to figure some things out. And we got some positive yards on this play, but it will bring up a third down situation. So pickup of about 1 on the play.
Yeah, that was Brandon Overstreet, number 17, the quarterback. Nice step up there, felt the pressure from his left side, was able to step up and get back to the original line of scrimmage. You like to see a quarterback not get rattled by the pressure. He didn't immediately just take off running. He stepped up in the pocket, looked to down the field to see if he had anybody open, and then decided to tuck it and keep it. And it's going to bring up a third down after the officials' timeout for water. Again, we're still early in the season here in Mississippi, probably still in the mid to upper 80s at kickoff. So we've got the automatic timeout rule at the 6 minute of each the 6 minute mark of each quarter, and both teams go to the sideline, take a knee, and get a sip of water and collect themselves. Time for the coaches to step out and do a little coaching, and then we get right back to it.
We want to thank our sponsors, especially Wade Incorporated. They're going to be sponsoring our starting lineup all this season. Visit Wade Incorporated for all your lawn and farm equipment needs. Once again, a very special thank you to Wade Incorporated, our starting lineup sponsor. All right, Brad, here we go. 3rd and 10. Tigers need to figure a little something out. Once again, we've seen Lake Cormorant use their speed on offense. They're definitely using it on defense, and they're inching closer and closer to that line, Brad.
They are, Heath, and really getting a lot of pressure on Brandon Overstreet, forcing early quick throws before the receivers are able to complete their routes, and brings up a 4th down and 10 for the Tigers. Looks like they're going to send the punt team out there. They're going to send Will Usselton back into punt formation this time. Again, trying some different things out. First punt was handled by Brandon Overstreet. Now we've got Will Usselton back there to see what he can do. We know what he can do. He's got a cannon for a leg, and I expect him to put it on full display right here.
And once again, it's Jamboree. So glad we're working out the kinks out tonight. A little bit of a shank right there. But, one thing, Brad, talking about that speed for the Lake Cormorant defense, a lot of people don't understand that what that speed does, it disrupts the timing of everybody, the offensive line, the quarterback, the receivers. And once you know that they've got speed and they're using it and they're executing at a high level, that makes you go a little bit faster. You kind of get in a rush and you rush through your reads, you rush through your progressions, you kind of rush through your first step there on your block. So kind of takes your timing off, and that's kind of what's happened with the Hernando offense tonight. So look forward to the offense trying to figure that out and kind of get some things going. Hey, Brad, I just thought about this. Last year, we saw the Tigers start a little bit slow, and then they would come on. I wonder if that's going to be a recipe for this team as well. Last year, we saw a lot of success with the Tigers, but most of their victories, if I'm not mistaken, Brad, started a little slow, and then they really turned it on and just really punished teams and just made them quit.
Yeah, Heath, you're absolutely right. And, the Tigers started the season strong last year, jumped out to a quick 2-0 record in conference or in district play, finished the year on a 0-3 slide and unable to make the playoffs. But you're absolutely right, Heath, that was a calling card of last year's Tigers. It remains to be seen what we're going to see this year. But at least in tonight's game, certainly Gators have jumped out to an early 14-0 lead. But I expect this Tiger team to respond under Coach Steve McCann.
Second down, 7 yards to go for the Gators. 3-down lineman for the Tigers. Got that 4 linebacker set on the 3-4 defense. Once again, Brad, they're attacking the outside, either on the ground or through the air. They are attacking the outside.
Well, Heath, they've clearly got a lot of team speed, and speedy teams, that's what you want to do. You want to get them to the outside, get them into open space so they can make plays. And that's certainly what their offense looks to be designed to do. Get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, their speedsters, get them out in open space and let them get one-on-one and make plays.
Once again, going outside again. Brad, if you really start paying attention, and I wish that we could counted this up, I want to say, to the exception of their first play of this drive, I want to say every single play, the ball has ended up outside the numbers. They are clearly going outside, and they are trying to get that edge.
Yeah, Heath, they tried to do the same thing right there. Luckily for the Tigers, number 14, Noah Mashburn, stepped up and read the play and made a good defensive play.
Second and 10, they go straight up the middle, put their foot in the ground, and they made a first down right there. And a lot of people, that plays the exact example. A lot of people are like, well, if they keep going to the outside, why don't we put more men to the outside? And as soon as you do that, they're going to hit you right up the middle.
Yeah, it's a game of cat and mouse, and in football, at least, the mouse tends to have the advantage. Again, today's offenses, even at the high school level, are heavily based on timing, and they're heavily based on options and giving the quarterback and the receivers different plays to run at different times depending on the look the defense gives you. And it's clear that number 15 for Lake Cormorant, Blake Beal, is as good as they come in making that decision.
And once again, they make it outside the numbers. Brad, not that play, but the play before. Great pursuit by number 54, Jackson Weathers. Really beat that double team, came straight up field, got some pressure on the quarterback, made contact with the quarterback. Once you get the quarterback, get him uncomfortable, his feet start moving a little bit, that's when you can cause chaos.
Heath, back in our day, they used to call that happy feet. You give the quarterback happy feet, you get him rattled, as you said, get his timing off, that's when you can start making defensive plays happen.
And right there, his timing was a little bit off. Threw it low. Receiver fell down. Loss on the play. Well, now it's a second and long situation for the Gators.
Heath, we mentioned Coach Steve McCann in his third year with the Tigers. Head coach Nick Nestor for Lake Cormorant, the only coach they've ever had, 15 years on the job.
Wow. Pass falls incomplete. We'll break up third 10. Wow, 15 years, Brad. One coach the entire time since that school's been open. That's absolutely amazing in this day and time.
And Heath, you and I, as we mentioned earlier, grew up in DeSoto County, and to see the growth of Lake Cormorant and DeSoto County in general is just unreal. No shade to Lake Cormorant, but when you and I were growing up, it was just a bait shop on the way to Tunica. And now it's got a 6A high school, a thriving 6A high school there.
Wobbly pass. And let's see, it looks like he did come down with it.
We have a flag on the play.
Yes, we do. So I don't know if that's going to be interference or if that's going to be a push-off. We will find out here shortly from the White Cow. Based
on the reaction of the Lake Cormorant receiver, I think that's going to be against the Tigers. It's going to be a catch, and it's going to be a touchdown.
Well, they call those 50-50 balls. He was able to come down with it. And here we go. Lake Cormorant setting up for the two-point conversion. Brad, they have not gone for a field goal yet. You try not to tip your hand too much of what you're going to do all season, but I think Lake Cormorant might have this season for future opponents, letting everybody know that they will not be kicking extra points this season.
Heath, you got to blow that play dead there.
Yeah, it's kind of
Hernando defense had that one stuffed, and now they're going to end up giving it to him. To me, I guess as long as the runner is making forward progress, the play is still alive. But that play went a long time, a lot longer than I thought it should have from our vantage point up here in the press box. Regardless, the two-point try is good. That's going to make the score 22-0 Lake Cormorant over your Tigers. Again, 1 minute, 57 seconds remaining in tonight's first quarter. Beautiful night here in Hernando. Opening night, unofficial opening night of the 2024 season. Tigers got a healthy schedule this year. They kick it off for real next Friday night here in Hernando against Rosa Fort. And then the following week, they go on the road down to Tobytown, take on the Warriors Senatobia. And then it's right back here 3 weeks from tonight, where preseason number 5/number 4, depending on who you ask, the Tupelo Golden Wave, them Blankets, as they call themselves down there, roll into town. Should be a dandy here at Anthony Jenkins Field, Tiger Stadium. Hope to see you here. Hope to see you online. Again, Mississippi high school football, there's very little like it. I would put Mississippi high school football up against any state in the nation in terms of not only the talent, Heath, but the experience.
Yes.
I mean, we talked a good bit last year about how the town of Hernando really rallies around this school. They rally around this football program. Heath, we look off to our left in the north end zone. There's students, looks like of every age out there having a good time. I see some volleyballs and some beach balls bumping around down there, but just a great experience and nothing like it anywhere in the nation, if you ask me. I may be a little biased.
Well, I don't think that was intentionally a squib kick, but it was. You know, Brad, I want to mention, we were talking about that play on the two-point conversion. We thought it went a little bit too long. Hey, the Zebras tonight, it's their first game of the year, too. They're going to make mistakes, and they're going to try to be on top of things. And I'm sure they'll be watching a little bit of this game, and they'll also be taking notes. And they will hopefully be better, as both teams want to be. The officials do, too, for next week's first official game.
Nah, Heath, you're way too easy on the referees, man.
At times. Big hit right there, but he pops right back up, gives the ball back to the official. That's exactly what you want to see out of your running back.
Saxon Douglas took a big hit, popped right up, handed the ball right back to the official back in the huddle, and let's go play another. Let's get another play in here. Gain of 1 on the play, took a big hit, but he popped right back up.
Yeah, here we go. Tigers trying to work something there on the left side.
Getting a heavy dose of Saxton Douglas tonight on offense. Expect to see that to be a theme this year. Saxton Douglas can be a weapon, is a weapon for this football program. He was last year, and I expect him to be this year. He's got speed. He's tough. He can take a hit. He can block when he needs to. He can give Brandon Overstreet time to throw. He's a multi-tool player.
Well, we're under a minute as the Sonic scoreboard reads. Got a little daylight. Working that right side. Making his way toward the chains. And referee's looking for his flag. He finally got it out. So there we go. I think that's going to add to the end of the run, Brad.
Yeah, we're going to have 15 yards tacked on to the end of that round, about a 10-yard run there for Brandon Overstreet. What I like to see there again, he didn't panic. The play was not there. He tucked the ball, ran to daylight, picked up about 10 yards on the carry, and then is going to get another 15. Took the hit, popped right back up. And what I like to see there, the Lake Cormorant player went over and helped him up. No hard feelings there, just playing football. And it was a little bit late, and we're going to mark off the penalty, but it's going to be a first down around midfield for the Tigers.
Tigers will go through the air. Find their man. Back-to-back first downs. Late flag comes in, Brad. Flag there at the 46-yard line. The white hat is signaling that illegal man downfield for the Tigers.
Wow, Heath, I'm a little perplexed.
As we saw there on the replay, hey, we want to thank Domino's Pizza for being our sponsor for the replay this year.
Heath, I'm just not quite sure how the linemen were able to get, they're allowed, I believe in high school it's 3 or 5 yards, I'm not sure. They're allowed to be 3 yards down the field as part of the play and still be legal receivers downfield to catch the ball. That was just kind of a quick out pattern. And actually, I guess, the previous play was the one where Brandon Overstreet scrambled. So I'm kind of surprised to see the legal man downfield call there. But again, remains first down, going to be a 5-yard penalty. Overstreet leads his troops back out in formation now.
Once again, we do want to thank Domino's for being our instant replay sponsor. Right now, Tigers are going to keep it on the ground with the quarterback keeper. A little bit of a horse collar tackle there. There comes the flag.
Absolutely, Heath. That's a call that is 100% specifically designed for player safety. You cannot grab the back of the jersey, the back of the shoulder pads underneath the helmet and tackle a player. Whether you bring them down or not, it doesn't matter. It's still a penalty. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and the Tigers are on the move.
Brad, a little bit shocking. You're starting to see a couple of hands on hips for the Gators. And that defense hasn't been out there that long. I have noticed that the Tigers, sometimes they've been on the field on defense for a length of time. I didn't see a single person or player with their hands on their hips. Shows great conditioning by this Tiger team. Props to the coaching staff for that as we get ready for the 2024 season next week. Pass falls incomplete. It's going to bring up a second down situation for Hernando.
Well, an opportunity for learning, an opportunity for coaching. That time, Brandon felt the pressure from his left side, decided to get rid of the ball, and unable to make contact or make a connection with his receiver, brings up second down.
And here we go. Nice little room there for Douglas, working the sideline, makes it outside the numbers, pursues his way downfield, enough for the first down. And Brad, once again, I think the offensive line has kind of gotten together. They're working as a unit. They're carrying out blocks. You're starting to see the timing for this offense come together right now.
Heath, I'm not going to lie to you. I could have run through the hole that Saxton Douglas just ran through right there. He did it a lot faster and a lot more gracefully than I might have. But that was I say all that to say that was an outstanding job of blocking by the offensive line there.
Well, that's going to wrap up quarter number 1 at the Sonic scoreboard. It says Lake Cormorant's up 22-0 over the Hernando Tigers. Once again, it's just a jamboree. It's a glorified practice. I know coaches will find some things they'll like. And coaches will always find things they don't like. That's part of coaching, and they will address that here in the coming week to get them ready for the opener next weekend. Brad, we want to thank some of our sponsors real quick. We want to thank Shelter Insurance. Do you have a home, car, RV, or motorcycle? Shelter Insurance. They believe in protecting what matters most. Your family, your home, your future. You're not just getting an insurance agent. You're getting a neighbor who understands your needs. Whether it's auto, home, life insurance, Shelter Insurance is here to make sure you're covered. Their goal is simple, to help find you the right coverage at the right price. Call Brendan Vandenberg at 662-429-5755 or Randy Wallman, 662-429-0086. Shelter Insurance, proud sponsor of Hernando High School Athletics. And, hey, are you hungry? Then it's time to satisfy that craving at Lenny's Grill and Subs, where every bite is packed with fresh ingredients and bold flavors. Our bread is baked fresh daily, ensuring that every sandwich is as delicious as the last. So why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? Visit Lenny's Grill and Subs today, where fresh meets flavor. Taste the difference at Lenny's Sub and Grill. We want to thank Miss Cheryl there at Lenny's. Miss Cheryl's been a wonderful member of the Hernando community, and we want to thank Lenny's and Shelter Insurance. Also, we want to thank Hernando Dental Group. Looking for a smile that lights up the room? Welcome to Hernando Dental Group, where your comfort and care come first. Whether it's a routine checkup, a sparkling cleaning, or a complete smile makeover, our expert team is here to keep you smiling with confidence. So why wait? Call Hernando Dental Group today, 662-429-6736, or visit HernandoDentalGroup.com.
Heath, while you were finishing up the read there, first down play for the Tigers. Overstreet looking out in the flat for his wide receiver. I thought in my mind that the Lake Cormorant defender was a little bit early over the top there. Could have gotten the flag, but ref leaves his hanky in his pocket. We go to play second down, 10 yards to go from the Lake Cormorant 17-yard line.
Great pickup right there in the backfield. You know, Brad, once again, we were talking about getting the timing for the offense. It looks like we had two linemen going in opposite direction that last play, and this is what we've been talking about all night. This is what the Jamboree's for, is some guys get out there that are not used to playing the position, or they're not used to Friday nights and all this. They might have looked dynamic in practice all year, but they get a little bit nervous when those lights come on. This is what this Jamboree is for. It's to get the game reps, as you talked about in our keys to the game and pregame. Get those reps, get together, get the unit working. And so next week you can hit the ground running in game number 1 for the 2024 season.
Well, Heath, you know, I tell the folks that I work with, that work for me, whenever they're worried or they're nervous about something, I always remind them that the same thing that makes them nervous is also the same thing that can make them great. And it's that they care. It's that they care about their performance. They care about what they're doing. And they've just got to learn to harness that and use that to their advantage. But again, it's the same thing that's going to make them great players. It's the same thing that also makes them nervous and a little upset with themselves when they miss a block or they miss an assignment, miss a pass. But they've got to learn to harness that. And again, that's what tonight's for.
Tigers working their way out there. Up, loose ball on the ground.
They are going to call that a fumble, Heath. The ball is going to go over. It's going to be recovered by Lake Cormorant. It's going to go over to them. So they will take over. The offense will trot back out on the field, and Tiger defense will join them. Heath, looking ahead to the schedule, I got us through September 13th when the Golden Wave of Tupelo, again, ranked number 4 preseason by Mississippi Gridiron. Our friend Brandon Shields, former preps editor for the Jackson Clarion Ledger, runs that website and does a great job. But on September 20th, the Byhalia Indians come to town here at Anthony Jenkins Field, Tiger Stadium, and followed up on the 27th to round out September. the Mustangs of Center Hill come to town.
Well, right now, Cormorant trying to get their practice in, working it up the middle. We've seen about 2 or 3 plays tonight as they've run up the middle. Most of their plays have been to the outside, whether that be on the ground or in the air.
So continuing to talk about the Tigers' schedule this year, Tigers have the unfortunate, I'm not sure what you want to call it, the unfortunate situation where they have to go, their first 2 district games are on the road, separated by an off week, but still first 2 games on the road in Region 7A1 for the Tigers this year. October 4th, the 10-4 game. If they don't have a trucker theme for that game over at Lewisburg, they should. We'll have to contact our friend Coach Matt Hammond and see what he can do about that. But the Tigers are on the road at Lewisburg on October 4th, have an opening the following week, and then on the 18th go up the road to Horn Lake.
Busted coverage by the Tigers. Man wide open. 2 men bit underneath. Once again, Brad, I think they thought the other had the other man in coverage. They both covered the same guy. One guy got loose. And once again, we've been saying it all night, this is what the Jamboree's for. You want to make these mistakes tonight. These are the mistakes you want to get through, get over with, so you can build toward the opener and the season, and most definitely when you get the district play.
Yeah, credit to Lake Cormorant there. Hit the open man, and as you said, Heath, looked like maybe a missed assignment there. But again, that's where you learn. That's a coachable moment. That's something that can be easily corrected in about 5 minutes on the practice field. And I know the Tiger coaching staff will get on that. They'll get that corrected before Rosa Fork comes to town next week, and we open it up for real.
And 2-point conversion is good. I see that our clock on the screen,
2-point conversion, no good.
it's having an opening night malfunction as well.
Well, Heath, there may very well be 80 minutes left in tonight's game, or tonight's second quarter. I think we've only got 2 quarters here, so we can say tonight's game.
I'm just laughing, not only at the minutes, but the seconds. We go from 37 to 34 to 36 to, it's all over the place. Fun stuff. Well, it's open tonight for everybody. Officials, fans coming in late, offense, defense for both teams, coaches. The band's not here tonight. We see some of the spirit squads down here.
Boy, Heath, I can't wait for next week. When we kick it off for real under the lights here, Anthony Jenkins Field, Tiger Stadium, Hernando, Mississippi. Looking ahead, looks like, as I said, Heath, looks like it's going to be a warm one next week. But there's just nothing like Mississippi high school football, and especially here in Hernando. I have a feeling next week is going to have a great vibe, great atmosphere as we kick it off for real with, again, the Lions of Rosa Fork High School from Tunica make their way up Highway 61 and across DeSoto County to join us here for an evening of high school football. Look forward to having the band. I know those kids have been working hard this summer. They have 2-a-days just like the football team does, and so can't wait to see them. As you said, Heath, we've got our spirit squad in attendance here tonight. Our student section looks good. Stands are full. And again, everybody just practicing for next week with an eye on the opening kickoff for the 2024 season.
Brad, what was tonight's theme for the student section?
Heath, I want to say it was Wild West, maybe. As I look down at the student section, I see a bunch of cowboy hats and boots and Western wear. So I got to think, I don't know. I'm sure it's something cool that the kids call it, but I'm going to go with Wild West as the theme.
They're not calling it hee-haw like we would have.
That's a fact, Heath. As we date ourselves, anybody listening in on the broadcast that knows hee-haw knows you can probably guess about how old Heath and I are. He and I probably watched that at our grandparents' house or with our parents, playing in the floor while our parents hee-hawed along to hee-haw.
Yeah, we're nowhere close to being as old as Buck Owens and Roy Clark with his red, white, and blue guitar. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Swing pass outside. There's some daylight there. Once again, that speed for Lake Cormorant is just so incredibly fast. Close so quick there. It'll bring up a second down situation for the Tigers.
Boy, Heath, as you mentioned, the Gators do have sideline-to-sideline speed. They attack the football as the defensive unit. They've got a nose for the football. They're well coached. You can tell that certainly. And they are a force to be reckoned with on the defensive side of the ball.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 10. Here we go. Once again, that team speed right there, coming up the middle. Very, very impressed with Lake Cormorant. I think they will have a nice little season there. I'm going to keep an eye on their scores all season long. I've been impressed with their defense tonight.
Well, Heath, the middle linebacker, number 8, is Vondarius Hilly. And we haven't called his name a lot tonight, but that's not for having the opportunity to do so. He's been on several plays, and he's got great size. He's a good-looking. He's clearly a vocal leader for the Gator defense. Excuse me, he's actually an outside linebacker, but he's clearly the leader of their defense.
And right there, Brad, as we talked about earlier here, drive or two before, offensive line still working out kinks, trying to figure some things out. They've had a couple of drives where they've shown some positivity of working together as a unit. Once again, it's about timing, and that timing will come. And I'll tell you this, I highly doubt the Tigers see this much team speed with too many of their opponents this season.
Yeah, Heath, this is, as you mentioned, this is a very fast Lake Cormorant squad. What I like to see there, obviously didn't like the result of the play, but what I did like to see was the right guard and the right tackle were in the right spot. And you know, that's, again, you can build off of that. When your players are in the right spot and just don't make the play, that's something you can build off of. If your guys aren't in the right spot, you can't build off that at all. I mean, you got to start from scratch there. But the right guard and the right tackle were in the right spot, did not make the block, and Brandon Overstreet was brought down in the backfield. Tigers punt on 4th down, and Lake Cormorant's going to take over on offense again. Halfway through the second and final quarter of tonight's action with the score, Lake Cormorant 30, Hernando no score. Here at Anthony Jenkins Field, Tiger Stadium in Hernando.
And right now we'll get to see Tiger defense come back on the field, getting reps in tonight for the Tigers. And such a valuable experience that, you know, sometimes high school teams, high school athletes play better on the road just because they're not as worried about the peers watching them and things of that nature. And sometimes when we play at home, it's a little bit more intimidating, a little bit more worried about messing up. And so, again, the Jamboree is one of those things to kind of get those emotions, those butterflies, those situations out of the way and a little bit under control. The more comfortable you are, the better you'll play. And hopefully tonight we'll get those lessons learned as we move forward here in 2024. Brad, been impressed so far with the Tigers. They're staying in that 3-4 defense. 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. Sometimes they'll walk a backer up. Lake Cormorant getting in some more guys, getting some reps.
And a little humor from our friends over in the stadium address booth. Marvin Gaye's what's going on, as there was some confusion on the field.
Yep, Brad, right there. A lot of people may not have seen what just happened. Still a lot of fight in these Tigers. They're not giving up. A lot of fight in the Tigers tonight. They've had some breaks go against them. They've had some plays go against them. And again, I really hate that they even have scoreboards in Jamborees, because that's not what the Jamboree's for. It has nothing to do with score. Do you want your offense to score on every single play? Absolutely you do. But with that right there, defense stayed in great pursuit all the way to the end. They did not give up. Very impressed by that. All right, here we go. Trying to work their way up the middle. And they're falling short of the goal line. That'll bring up a 2nd down situation. Brad, how many people have we seen at quarterback tonight with Lake Cormorant? Is this number 2?
Well, it depends, Heath. If you count the 2-point conversions, this is actually, I believe, their 4th quarterback tonight. Big number 2, Cardarius Bullock, was officially the quarterback on one of their 2-point conversions. So I believe this is quarterback number 4. That's number 1, Jacoby Hobson Jr. Senior athlete, 6'2", 202 for the Gators. And into the end zone for the Gators goes number 4, Joshawn Williams. And just like that, the Gators are back on the board.
10 of students tonight there, right past the goalpost in the end zone. Brad, you mentioned it earlier. There are people of every age down there. And just a fun night being had.
Yeah, that's really a neat area, and I don't know if it's by design or if it's just the way the land on which the school and the field was built, but it just makes for a nice little area for people to congregate, kids to hang out with their friends, to hang over the fence. Heath, I remember being a young man and looking up to my idols just up the road at South Haven High School. Way back in the, we're not going to say way back when, but
it was in the 1900s. How about that?
Yeah, that's the running joke is I like to tell people I was born in the 1900s. Makes it sound more distinguished in my mind.
Well, they actually have athletic equipment and balls to play down there. We had wax cups and dirt. So, yeah.
We absolutely did, Heath. The old, a lot of folks will remember the old soft drink cups, soda cups that were made of the wax paper. Boy, those made for fantastic sporting events. They were versatile. They could be a football. They could be a soccer ball. They could be a baseball. Any amount of, and I'll tell you, those things hurt when you got hit by one. They did not tickle. Those things, when you wadded them up into the shape of a ball, they could really get some velocity behind them.
4 minutes left here in the Jamboree. Decent crowd tonight. Our neighbors brought more than I thought they would.
Yeah, they absolutely did, Heath, especially for a Jamboree, but brought a couple hundred folks from over in the western part of the county.
Yeah, it looks like we have a little bit of an injury timeout. Brad, we want to thank some of our sponsors. I know tonight we've seen the instant replay. We want to thank Domino's. They're our instant replay sponsor of this 2024 season. They are the exclusive provider of pizza for the Tigers and here at the concession stand at the stadium. Call Domino's tonight or stop by the concession stand for an outstanding slice of Domino's pizza. Once again, Domino's, our instant replay sponsor here this 2024 season. We want to thank Dean Darnell and Sonic as they go the extra mile for Hernando. They had our keys to victory tonight, and also they are sponsoring our scoreboard. They have been a wonderful friend and ally to Hernando Athletics for many, many decades. Stop by for a cold summer treat. That's Sonic, America's Drive-In.
Heath, I believe I might have a Route 44 cherry limeade slush in my future as I head back up, make my way back up into Midtown Memphis where I live. Heath, you're a dedicated member of the Hernando community, and I want to commend you, buddy, on a lot of great service to the community. I keep up with you, and I'm awful proud of you. I want to take the opportunity to say that. You've got a great group of kids that are in the Hernando school system at various ages, but you volunteer your time for this community, and I commend you for that, my brother.
Very much appreciated. Very grateful for that. Thank you. You know, Brad, your father spent many decades himself serving in DeSoto County schools and served tremendously and was a beacon of light in the community here in DeSoto County and was a wonderful educator and administrator. And, you know, it's always wonderful to see some of these old names throughout the county, especially here in Hernando. It's a place that we take pride in, and we also want to build it up so a future can stay just as wonderful as the past that we had.
Absolutely, and I appreciate the kind words about my dad, and he's doing well. I'm pleased to report, still hanging in there. In case he's listening in, get a little plug in for him there. It's interesting. I volunteer at the FedEx St. Jude Golf Tournament, which of course was last weekend out
I
of
saw that.
TPC Southwind up in southeastern Shelby County. And I carry the score standard, so I get to walk inside the ropes with the players. And I was talking to my scoring marker, the lady who was with me and keeps the scores. Turns out that her mother was actually a graduate of South Haven High School back in the late 80s, knew my father, and texted her mom while we were out there on the course. And and she absolutely remembered my dad.
Fun times and fun memories there. Well, something not fun. A lot of dirty laundry on the field that last play.
Yeah, it looks like we had Joe Akins, number 11, in at quarterback there for the Tigers, getting some reps. Again, can't duplicate gameplay in practice. There were flags on the play. The result of the play was an interception by Lake Cormorant. Multiple flags on the play. I'm not sure what the call was. They are indicating that it is Lake Cormorant's football.
And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the scoreboard here at the stadium is plugged in to our set, and the scoreboard here at the stadium is malfunctioning tremendously. We saw the clock going crazy. Now the score is going crazy. That has nothing to do with the wonderful crew that's here in the press box with us. That is a scoreboard issue. Once again, hey, it's first night for everybody, and I'm sure game day management will have to address that. Athletic director Nicholas Brown, I'm sure he'll be on top of that, get that thing ironed out as well. You never know what's going to happen on opening night, Brad. So many things you got to work through. Sometimes it's a concession problem. It could be a plumbing problem with the restroom. It could be a scoreboard problem. It could be lights. It could be anything. So many things happen, and guess what? That's why we have Jamboree, so we can get ready for the season openers as we roll through this 2024 season.
Heath, just to wrap up the look ahead at the season that we made it through October 4th. Again, the 10-4 game over our friends, the Patriots from Lewisburg. We visit the Berg, have an off week on 10-11, then we go at Horn Lake on the 18th. And then the Jaguars of DeSoto Central come to town on the 25th. We go to South Haven to play the Chargers on the 1st of November, and we wrap up the season at home against number 15 preseason Oxford on November the 7th. Hopefully that's not the last game of the season. Hopefully that's the last game of the regular season, and the Tigers will be in the playoffs.
You always start the season with playoff hopes. Every team, doesn't matter what county, doesn't matter what size, what classification. Every football team wants to make playoffs. They have that tree, making a great playoff run, and hopefully ending up on a college campus, playing their last game of the season, the state championship game. And it's always fun to see any of the teams here locally make that run, but we always have wanted to see our Tigers. Brad, I want to point something out. There's a couple of helmets on the field that don't have stickers on the helmet, so Coach McCann's definitely getting a lot of reps from a lot of guys out there right now. And so it's fun to see some of the younger guys get out there, get their reps, and get to prove their opportunity. And once again, sometimes it takes a little seasoning. Sometimes coaches are like, I don't know what he can do yet. He's showing flashes. Well, let's put him under the lights on Friday and see what he does. Sometimes they respond. Sometimes they got to work through it. But right now, Coach McCann getting a lot of reps for a lot of guys.
Well, Heath, your eyes are in late season form. If you can tell off the shine of those black helmets that there are some that have stickers and some don't, because I sure can't see it. I'll take your word for it. But your point is a valid one, Heath. And again, you want to get game reps. You want to get live reps and get as many people in to see, get those butterflies out, so that when it comes next week and we turn the scoreboard on, we turn the lights on, and we play for real, you want to see those guys have all of that worked out.
And right now, we're going to take a moment, have a timeout here. We will thank some sponsors as we wrap up here the last few minutes of the Jamboree. But we want to thank, once again, Sonic for being our scoreboard sponsor, our instant replay sponsor. It's Domino's Pizza here in town. And the starting lineup is brought to us by Wade Incorporated. We also want to thank Lenny's Grill and Subs. Michelle over there at Lenny's has been taking care of us for many years. And we want to thank Shelter Insurance for everything that they do. We want to thank Randy Wallman and also Brandon Vanderberg for their support this season. And our good friends over at Hernando Dental Group. You can always check them out at hernandodentalgroup.com. And right there, Brad, that was just a heave-ho play.
Yeah, quarterback Blake Beal back to pass. Finds number 7, Jaden Benson, down the field for about a 35-yard gain. Lake Cormorant not letting off the gas here. They're still going tempo, still throwing the ball around the field. They're trying to do just like the Tigers are, and that is learn the ropes and learn the plays and get game reps. So they're certainly not going to quit. They're not going to let off the gas here, and I wouldn't expect anything less.
Here we go. Tigers still showing fight out there, so the younger guys get some game reps in.
28 pressure on the carry. Going down at number 96, Colton Massey.
And Heath, that is the end of the second quarter, and I believe that is the end of the game, if we've been told correctly. Again, only a 2-quarter game here tonight for the Jamboree. So I think that's going to do it for game action here from Anthony Jenkins Field tonight. Although we'll see. I'm not sure. The players.
Well, Brad, looking at the numbers tonight. Let's see. Lake Cormorant looks like they had 350 total yards. They had 198 through the air, 152 on the ground. Hernando struggled through the air, -1 passing, and 32 yards on the ground. A grand total of 31 total yards tonight. Once again, Hernando didn't have the ball too much tonight. Defense was on the field a good bit of the time tonight, and that offensive line was still trying to work some things out as the offense was trying to get on the same page with quarterbacks, receivers, O-line blocking, and, of course, we talked about that team speed for Lake Cormorant. We saw it all night. So with that, Tigers got the reps in, had a scrimmage against a very superior team with much speed, and I'm sure Coach McCann and the coaching staff will have everything prepared and ready, lock and loaded, to start the season here next Friday night.
Heath, I'm looking around. I think there's a little confusion in the stadium right now. Fans still in their seats. I don't think the fans realize that we're only playing 2 quarters tonight. But looks like, and Heath, I'm not sure. Yeah, looks like the game's over as the Lake Cormorant players are taking off and taking off their uniforms.
It's about a 13-minute half.
Well, we just got word, ladies and gentlemen, that they're going to have a 13-minute halftime, and then we are going to start back action again. So coaches have agreed to play a little bit more. Again, as we mentioned at the very beginning of the broadcast, that they're going to make up the rules as they go along on some things, and they're going to kind of figure things out. Brad, I've seen Jamborees before where midway through the third quarter, they just stopped everything, and they worked on goal line defense. They lined up and ran 2-point conversions on each other. They put the ball at the 10-yard line, and teams just stayed on one side of the field. They didn't go back and forth. So, against the Jamboree, this is nothing but a practice game. And if you think it's anything different, well, I want to let you know that it's not. So, with that, hey, we got some action coming out on the field right now. We got some guys coming out wearing their stripes. They're very proud to display those jerseys and shirts as they walk out to the field. The soccer team's going to get a little love here tonight as we get things going. Well, this is going to be halftime. We are going to take a quick little break, and we will be back to start more football here in the 2024 Jamboree.
Please turn your attention to the field.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Jenkins Field, Tiger Stadium here in Hernando, Mississippi. A beautiful night for high school football as we begin the third quarter of the 2024 Jamboree. You Tigers hosting the Gators of Lake Cormorant. And Lake Cormorant jumped out to a pretty sizable lead in the first half. Again, tonight is all about practice and all about getting those butterflies out and playing a lot of players. And you're going to see a lot of numbers that you didn't see in the first half. That's Cooper Langford on the carry for the Tigers there. And Cooper picked up about 8 yards on the carry. Second down, 2 yards to go for the Tigers. And looks like number 11, quarterback Joe Aikens out there again to start tonight's second half. Once again, the give is to Langford, and Langford's around the right side. He gets punished, but he gets the first down, gets near midfield. And the Tigers are on the move to start the second half just like that, Heath.
Brad, you're right. And I can notice that the player sizes on both sides of the ball for both teams are quite different than what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of young players out there. And again, we talked about it. We've said it so many times tonight already. That's what this is about. Because these, you don't want the bright lights of next Friday night to get in these kids' eyes if they have to step up and replace some of those starters. So you want to see what these kids can do. They put in the practice hours too. They deserve some playing time, and they're getting it tonight.
Nice pass downfield. Nice rollout. Squared his shoulders and delivered that ball. Very impressive right there.
Yeah, Heath, that was a great pass and catch. Number 11, Joe Aiken, to number 21, Miles Bryant. And Aikens, as you said, Heath squared up his shoulders, had some good velocity on that ball, about 25, 30 yards down the field. And just like that, the Tigers are in Gator territory, first down and 10 at the 31-yard line on the move.
You know, Brad, on those plays like that, you teach a young quarterback when he's rolling out to his right that he's got to throw off his right foot to complete that pass. Square your shoulders, throw off your right foot, and go right there. So,
and whatever you do, don't throw the ball back to the left.
Yes.
Throw it away. Don't throw it back across the field. At least at this level.
Yes. And, even at the NFL levels, there's some quarterbacks that should never throw the ball across. And it's always fun to see those mistakes on the guys on TV making millions of dollars. But when you see young quarterbacks do it and execute it so nicely, it's very heartwarming to see that, and knowing that they're getting the correct coaching and they are executing it tremendously. Here we go. Tiger State in shotgun formation, 2nd and 5. Seeing a lot of rollouts right now. Nice touch on that pass, and just falls incomplete.
Yeah, Heath, that was another good job by Joe Aikens there, number 11. Felt the pressure coming, rolled out to the right, dropped a nice pass in there just out of the reach of his intended receiver, and that's going to bring up third down and around 4 for the Tigers. 8 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in tonight's third quarter. 38-0 lead for the Lake Cormorant Gators over your Tigers. But the Tigers on the move here early in the second half.
Brad, I'm feeling sorry for some of the people that left at halftime. Some folks packed up, and we see some of the lights in the parking lot. It kind of made me laugh a little bit. So there is a second half tonight. And we're seeing a lot of young Tigers out there getting some experience. Forced collar tackle there. Yeah, mini flags coming out.
Yeah, that's and immediately you see some remorse from the Lake Cormorant player there. I don't think that was intentional. He's just reaching up, reacting, trying to make the tackle, and he grabbed that again in that area of the top of the shoulder pads underneath the helmet that they call the horse collar, and you just can't tackle a player by that. And that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. That's going to be a first down for the Tigers. And again, they're on the move, going to be inside the 20-yard line of the Gators. First down, 10 yards to go. Just under 8 minutes remaining here in the third quarter of action in the 2024 Jamboree kickoff.
Brad, that's usually a move that we see on Monday night on wrestling, not on Friday night here in football.
Yeah, that's a lot more dangerous when you've got a guy in motion who is running away from the tackler because it kind of causes the body to bend in a difficult way that the body's not supposed to bend. But either way, it doesn't matter if you tackle a player by that area of the uniform, it's an automatic 15 yards. And it's a pretty easy one to spot. Look at me giving credit to the officials. Doesn't happen often, so write it down, folks. But it's a pretty easy penalty to spot, and most of the time the officials are going to be right on top of it.
Right there, the ball's in a weak spot just inside the 10-yard line. Tigers can pick up a first down. Looks like around the 3-yard line. They're getting the call from the sideline. Tigers have stayed in shotgun formation all night tonight, Brad. I assume that they will stay in that for the remainder of the evening.
It's just amazing to me, Heath, how far high school offenses have come. Running the shotgun, running the spread, running the play app, the RPO, signaling plays in from the sideline. Back when you and I used to do it, they used to run a fullback in and out, and the fullback brought the plays into the quarterback, and you huddled, and you got the play, and you broke the huddle and went to the line, and you ran about 40 to 45 seconds off in between each play. Nowadays, it's high octane, high tempo. Go, go, go. Keep the defense on their heels. Keep the momentum going down the field. And it's really amazing to see how far offenses have come at the high school level.
Kind of impressed of Lake Cormorant's D-line. Look how wide they are. Notice that here at the beginning of this drive. I think that's why Hernando's had some success. But very wide down there.
Heath, that was another great pass by number 11, Joe Akins, intended in the end zone for number 21, Miles Bryant, just out of his reach. We do have a flag in the end zone. It's going to be pass interference against the Gators. So it's going to be a first down inside the 5-yard line, or actually right at the 5-yard line. First down and goal to go for the Tigers. They have not changed the down marker yet. But surely pass interference in the end zone is good enough for a first down.
Coaches are asking for it to be first down.
Yeah,
they're noticing it.
Yeah, they're noticing it. First down. And the official is barking back at our coaching staff, and I'm not sure why. They're right.
And the clock's also running.
Well, I think maybe that may be by design, because the official hasn't. Well, now he stopped the clock. Heath, again, it's a night for everybody to work out the kinks, and I think that's definitely one. Unless I don't know my rules, I got to think pass interference in the end zone is an automatic first down, because it just doesn't seem like 5 yards is enough of a penalty for what that infraction was.
A lot of daylight head to that corner. Tigers get on the board here in their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, that was number 32. Cooper Langford on the carry around the right side. And Cooper goes into the end zone. We've called his name a couple of times. He's a sophomore, 6'1", 160 for the Tigers. Called his name several times on this opening drive of the third quarter. And took the ball there from Joe Akins around the right side, untouched into the end zone for Hernando's first score of the 2024 season.
Here we go. Tigers are going to elect to go for 2. So we will not have the snap, the hold, and the kick tonight. Just going to line up and go for 2.
And again, Heath, you know what you've got with Will Usselton from a kicking standpoint. You know he doesn't need the practice. You know what he can do, so you might as well use the opportunity when it doesn't count to try out a 2-point conversion there. Ultimately, it's no good, and it's going to be 38-6 lead for Lake Cormorant. 5 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
And there you go. Tigers opening possession second half. March right down the field. Get in the end zone, although they didn't get the first down on the pass interference call there in the end zone. On that third down play, they were able to march it in from the 5-yard line, working that right side into the right corner and hitting pay dirt to get them on the scoreboard tonight. And we're not even going to kick. We're just going to put the ball at the 30. Here come the Gators and their offensive unit. And let's see what the defense is going to do right now. Once again, Brad, got a couple of players that don't have stickers on their helmets. So we've emptied the bench. We're really getting a lot of reps in tonight for all the Tigers. 3 down linemen, both outside linebackers working their way forward. And this second unit, definitely not as fast as that first unit for the Gators. They're going straight up the middle, pick up about 5 yards on that play.
So, Heath, if I'm not mistaken, Lake Cormorant has their 5th quarterback of the evening, and they are huddling.
Yeah, we're not seeing tempo like we did from the first half. Different unit, 5th different quarterback. And they get to the line pretty slow there. They weren't too excited to run up there.
Yeah, I got to think this is a younger guy quarterback here. We don't have him on our roster. He's got some nice speed around the right side there, and he's going to keep it across, almost reaches midfield. It's going to be a first down for the Gators.
Well, you can tell he's an athlete. So, Brad, the ball will be placed at the 50-yard line at midfield. And that will be a 1st and 10 situation.
Something magical about that midfield stripe, Heath. It's good to be back.
It is good. It's one, man.
Football season is upon us. Couldn't get here fast enough.
I always look forward to football season, but even more so this year than other years prior.
Well, Heath, I know you're a big baseball fan. I'm not a huge baseball fan, so you've got something to while away the hours in addition to tracking down your kids and keeping up with them and all of your various jobs and duties that you undertake, both on a pay and unpaid basis. But for me, once the Grizzlies wrap up in late May, hopefully early June or mid-June or even late June one of these days, hopefully we'll see our beloved Grizzlies deep in the NBA playoffs at some point. But once those guys get done, not a lot to keep me entertained on a sports-wise. I'm certainly a golf fan, but not a baseball fan. So football season can't get here fast enough for me. I know we've got some games tomorrow, I believe, early season games. I think 4 or 5 games. Heath's going to pull them up real quick, and we'll run through who plays tomorrow. I believe Hawaii is supposed to play tomorrow. Heath, I saw they're playing Delaware State, and Delaware State had some travel troubles making it out to Hawaii, and that is a 10-hour flight supposed to make their way up to JFK Airport in New York City, and then head west 10 hours on a plane to Hawaii. And don't know, didn't see the resolution there if they made it or not, but that is one of the games on tap for tomorrow is college football. They call it week 0 for those teams that start off tomorrow. They get a jump on the season and made for TV matchups in most cases.
You were mentioning, is it Delaware or Delaware State? Because Delaware is the Fighting Blue Hens.
Delaware State is the Hornets.
There you go.
And Delaware State is the one who had the travel troubles.
Yeah, can't take the bus to the Big Island.
No, you can't.
So the injury is over. Now, ladies and gentlemen at home, we do not have a complete roster for all these teams. I think we're starting to see some 9th graders come in for both teams. If we have a number, we will announce it. And at times, we might be announcing a number because there might be, for example, 2 42s. One might be on the 9th grade team. One might be on the high school team. So with that, we will try to do our best. During the regular season, we will have an updated roster for the high school. And we look forward to calling every name possible this entire season. Flag on the play, Brad.
Well, Heath, the prime example of what you were just talking about is the quarterback in for Lake Cormorant right now. Number 1, where's number 1? Number 1, Jacoby Hobson Jr., who is the varsity number 1, had a touchdown earlier. And so I know that is not Jacoby Hobson Jr. out there. We don't have a name for the young man. He's got good speed. He's I assume he's a younger player earlier in his career, possibly a freshman, but he looks good. Looks promising for the Gators. Again, a lot of youngsters in for the Tigers on defense as well.
Tigers staying with those 3 down linemen. 4 linebackers behind them. They're walking up those backers on the outside up to the line of scrimmage. flag. We have some movement on the line before the snap as the white hat lets us know. Illegal procedure is the call.
And Heath, that's what you see typical late in these Jamboree settings. You're going to see a lot of yellow hankies on the field, I'm afraid. Clock is going to continue to run here. They're going to try to limit the exposure that these kids have got on a warm late summer evening here. Just going to try to get these guys through, get them some valuable reps, but also keep them from getting injured, keep them from cramping up, get them home safely so they can be out here next Friday night as we kick it off for real 7 days from tonight here at Anthony Jenkins Field.
Rolling out to his right, trying to look for anything. Another flag comes in. Do believe this one will be coming back, Brad.
Yeah, just based on where that was thrown and who threw it, that's going to be a hold, and it absolutely is. Heath, you can bank when the white hat throws a flag behind the play like that, you can bet 9 out of 10 times it's going to be a hold. And it absolutely is. That's what the white hat is looking for. He's looking for two main things. He's looking for a late hit on the quarterback, and he's looking for offensive linemen behind the play holding.
Well, 10 yards from the spot of that hold. It will still remain third down.
And Heath, it's far too early in the season for me to try to do any math right now. So we're just going to say this is third and a long way for the Gators. It's 3rd and 25. As Heath points out, the crawler on the screen there is ready for action for us.
They might have made that up as we went along, but you know what? We'll go.
We're going to go along with it. Fine folks at Sonic sponsor our score and down and distance bug at the bottom of the screen. We appreciate them for that. Again, I've got myself a fine cherry limeade slush in my future. Going to give them a little business tonight after I leave here.
Brad, what's your go-to dessert at Sonic?
I'm just a classic hot fudge sundae guy. Just give me a little soft serve ice cream with a little chocolate sauce right on top of it. I'm good to go. I don't have to get too crazy. You can keep all the flurries and all of the shakes and everything else. I just want a nice hot fudge sundae.
All right.
Heath, what about you?
I'm definitely a blast kind of person. I'll go with that Reese's Blast.
You're right. I called it a flurry. It's fine friends at Sonic. It's a blast. I apologize for that. I'll get that right. But you're absolutely right. It is the blast from Sonic, and I've had many of them. But, again, I'm a hot fudge sundae kind of guy.
All right, here we go. 4th down, 4th and 11. We're going to roll out, take a shot at the end zone. 2 men are there. Ball batted away. Tigers look great on defense. Right there, turnover on downs. The Tigers will take over as we wrap up this quarter. Once again, the running clock's happening. So,
now, Heath, I want to give a shout-out right there. On the other end of the field just a few minutes ago, Cooper Langford took the ball in for the Tigers' lone score of the evening. Right there, he prevented Lake Cormorant from putting more points on the board with a nice pass breakup on 4th down. Great action, great job by Cooper there. I want to recognize him for a couple of outstanding plays on the evening here. Tigers are going to take over in just over 12 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And Cooper's going to run right back out there and join his offensive teammates on the field as he is currently putting in double duty.
Ironman football playing both sides tonight.
Used to see that a lot more than you do these days.
Oh, absolutely.
Nowadays, again, offenses are so high octane, even at this level, that you pretty much have to have guys that are specific to offense or defense. You don't just basically have the same. Used to be back in our day, Heath, they just put the best 11 athletes out on the field and line them up as best they could, and that was how you played football back in the not so distant past, getting more distant by the day.
Yeah, we have a pre-snap penalty.
Again, quarterback number 11, Joe Akins, out there for the Tigers. He's had the entire second half. Nice pass again out there, number 21.
Another flag on the play. So, Brad, college football this weekend in week 0. You mentioned Hawaii and Delaware State. Delaware having problems getting out to the island, take on the Rainbow Warriors. We got Nevada and SMU tomorrow. I want to say that one Hernando graduate, he graduated here from Hernando, spent some time at MC, and he is now on the staff with SMU. He was with Northern Illinois last year. He is getting his postgraduate degree and doing a lot of their film work and learning all their technology. It's the same technology they use in the NFL. He's hoping to get a job one day there in the National Football League and join a franchise. Doing all the film work, getting things ready for the coaches and players for film session. So we want to give a shout out to Alex. Hope he has a wonderful season. And I'll be pulling for the Mustangs this year in support of Alex. Also, we got Montana State, New Mexico. And one game that I also look forward to, Florida State and Georgia Tech. I'm not going to be shocked if Georgia Tech makes a lot of noise in that game. I don't know if they'll win it, but I think it's going to be closer than what most people do expect.
Well, that's certainly the marquee game, the marquee matchup tomorrow. An early season ACC contest kicking off. Georgia Tech, I think, has now abandoned the triple option. They're no longer the triple option team of the past that they were. I'm sure their fans are grateful for that. Not a fan of the triple option, Heath. As a fan, as you well know, of the Memphis Tigers, my Tigers have two conference mates that exclusively run the triple option, and it is painful to defend. The triple option is further proof that 4 3-yard plays equal a first down.
And right now, the White Hat is looking down into the south end zone.
Well, Heath
has been staring down there for quite a while.
Well, Heath, I think we're trying to get the game, get the scoreboard reset. And they are trying to get 12 minutes on the clock.
The fun that happens in the press box on Friday nights.
And we're set for action. We're going to go straight into the fourth quarter here.
Brad, did I mention it's opening night for everybody?
Once or twice, Heath.
All right, Brad, here we go. Finally back to action on that first play of the drive. Pick up a 4 through the air. 2nd and 6 for the Tigers.
Number 11, Joe Aikens, still in at quarterback. He found number 19, Reed Sanders, in the left flat there. Good for a 4-yard pickup. First time calling Reed's name tonight. Won't be the last time we're going to call his name this season.
Two receivers lined up to the right. And Tigers work that way. Man, talk about putting your foot in the ground and just going upfield.
Well, that was Reed Sanders, number 19 again, Heath. As I said, that will not be the last time we call that young man's name this season. Did a great job there. Saw the ball into his mitts, made the first man miss, and then ran over another one on his way to a first down across midfield to the 44-yard line of Lake Cormorant. Tigers marching. Again, we're just into the fourth quarter here.
Right, it's so odd tonight. We haven't heard the marching band because neither marching band's here tonight. Again, it's just a jamboree. It's just a glorified practice. The marching band will not show for those, nor will they perform. But kind of miss hearing the sounds there of the bands on a Friday night.
Heath, you know full well I'm a lover of all things football, and to me, the band is a huge, huge part of the atmosphere of football, especially here in the South, here in Mississippi. And look forward to hearing those youngsters play for us next Friday night when Rosa Fork comes to town here in Hernando. I know they're anxious to put their hard days of practice behind them and get on it for real as well. So we look forward to that.
Well, Brad, when you have 5 at home blocking and they bring 6, one man gets to come through free. We saw that there on that last play. And that happens at times. That's the risk that you take. And if you happen to beat the blitz, it usually leads to something big. You know, the late Joe Lee Dunn used to say, when you blitz, one school is going to play their fight song after the play.
Big things are going to happen, Heath. And I wasn't a math major, but I know that 6 is more than 5. And if I do the math there, even if you pick, every man picks somebody up, that leaves 1. And right then, number 31 for the Gators was unabated to the quarterback. Myron Johnson brought number 11 Joe Akins down in the backfield. Brings up 3rd and long for the Tigers.
Swing pass to the outside. Got some daylight there. Steps out of bounds. A lot of movement by both teams out there on the outside. One defensive player lined up out of bounds. Getting late over, setting up. One of the receivers for Hernando. Once again, just trying to get everything going. Hey, Brad, it's going to be a 4th down situation. Looks like about 4th and 12 for the Tigers. And looks like they're going to go for it because we haven't seen too many punts tonight, and the ones that we did, they weren't returned on purpose. Same thing with the kickoffs. Trying to keep everybody safe. Now, one player running on late.
Plenty of time on the play clock here.
Yeah, going to the slot receiver. Running down that seam, running the go route down the middle. Had a step on his man, but falls just incomplete.
Yeah, he had a wide open receiver there, and he didn't overthrow him by much, but pass ultimately falls incomplete, falls to the turf. And turn the ball over on downs. Lake Cormorant's going to take over on offense. We'll see if they play quarterback number 6 on the evening. Be interested to see who trots out here at the helm for Lake Cormorant. Looks like number 1, again, we don't have a full roster, but it looks like number 1's going to lead them back out here again.
I think the center and the guard got punked there. They came out and the rest of the team stayed behind. All right, here we go, Brad. We're approaching 7 minutes here left in tonight's Jamboree. Confusion by Lake Cormorant or where to line up. Working their way up the middle. Pick up about 3.
Boy, Heath, I want to commend number 49, Reed Duncan, for the Tigers there. He shot through the gap, just missed the tackle, disappointed in himself. He was gonna ring up the running back for Lake Cormorant there. Loved his reaction. A little bit of a disappointed fist pump. He knows he's going to get him next time, but I love to see him hit that hole like that and get in there, and I know next time he'll be able to make the tackle.
All right, here we go. Once again, 3 down linemen. The outside backer on the left side walking up to the line of scrimmage. A little room to the outside. And that might move the chains. It does. He has enough just to move the chains on that one. I'll bring up a 1st down for the Gators. Brad, originally, I remember Lake Cormorant's uniforms that first season, they were just black and white. There was no green. And they incorporated that green a couple of years later. The official school colors at first were just black and white. But how can you be the Gators and not have any green, right?
Well, it seems to have solved that. And not only is it green, it's kind of a neon green.
Yeah, the first green we saw was a hunter green from the Gators. And now it's a neon green.
Yep, and it's a good look. I like it. Kind of gives with the numerals, it kind of gives a cross between a Jacksonville Jaguars and let's go ahead and call it Baltimore Ravens maybe. Kind of the numbers have that font that the Baltimore Ravens have. I prefer the classic uniforms like the Tigers wear. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, can't help that. But the black and gold looks great. I like the numerals. They're nice and easy for these old eyes to read from up here in the press box. That's for sure. Certainly like that. Stand out nice. It's just a good classic look. It's been around a long time, obviously, and it's just a good look for the Tigers.
Right, here's a fun trivia question for you tonight. What city here in the United States where all the professional teams in that city, all the professional sports teams, are black and gold?
Well, Heath, I know the answer to that one because I've spent a good bit of time there for work. It's a lovely city that actually has a lot in common with Memphis, in my opinion. But the great city of Pittsburgh, the Pirates, Penguins, And who am I missing? The Steelers.
The Steelers.
Yeah, they're one short of having the 4 teams, but they've got the NHL, the NFL, and the MLB covered. Don't have a basketball team there in Pittsburgh. Do you know the name of the Pittsburgh ABA basketball team?
Oh, I know. Multiple choice would come into play here for me.
Let's see. Let's go with the. Well, give me a second. I'll get back to you.
See, the Pittsburgh ABA team, right?
Let's go with the Miners, the Tigers, and the Pipers.
I'm going to go with the Pipers.
It absolutely is the Pipers, Heath. The Pittsburgh Pipers.
Wow.
Dug deep in my bag for that one, buddy. Not going to lie to you.
Do you remember the color of the Pipers, Brad?
Now that I couldn't tell you. Probably black and gold, though. If not, they missed an opportunity.
There you go.
And Lake Cormorant punches it in for a touchdown. Again, we're in fourth quarter of action. 4 minutes to go here. Clock running. 2024 Jamboree underway.
Talking about good uniforms in the city of Pittsburgh. University of Pittsburgh. I've always loved those uniforms, that blue and yellow.
That script pit on the helmet, man. You know, for a while they went to a more of a, when Larry Fitzgerald was playing there, a great receiver who had a long career in the NFL. When he was playing there, they went to kind of a navy blue and gold, but they've kind of gone back to that yellow and blue look with the script pit.
2-point conversion looks like it is good. And so we are under 4 minutes here in the Jamboree, the glorified practice tonight. See a couple of cars starting to move in the parking lot. See a couple of tail lights. I'm sure for some of the others where mom and dad dropped them off, they don't want to fight the traffic, so they're coming a little bit early. Pick up Junior, take him on back to the place. Well, Brad, week 0, as we already talked about, starts tomorrow in college football. The official season for the Tigers here in Hernando will start next Friday night. We're in the stretch run for Major League Baseball. The NFL will get started here in a couple of weeks. Fun time to be a sports fan.
Heath, I made the mistake of watching a preseason NFL football game last week. As you may or may not know, I'm a big fan of the Buffalo Bills, and last week the Bills and Steelers played. The aforementioned Pittsburgh Steelers played, and it was ugly. It was not. In fact,
it's a glorified practice.
It absolutely is. The Bills, my beloved Bills, have played 2 preseason games, have yet to score a touchdown. But they are 1-1 on the young season. Got a shellacking by the Bears in the first pregame season and beat the Steelers last week.
New quarterback in for the Tigers. You don't see too many quarterbacks in the 30s taking snaps in the backfield. Right now we are approaching 2.5 minutes. Well, the clock keeps jumping on us. We're under 3 minutes now. And here we go. Looks like 32 is our new quarterback, Brad. And on our roster.
It's actually number 30. 32 is Cooper Langford, who's seen the ball tonight. We do not have a number 30 on our roster.
Pass complete to number 43, Evan Hart.
And here we go, Brad.
Want to give a shout out there on the reception. Number 43, Evan Hart, on the reception. Picks up the first down for the Tigers here late in tonight's action.
Catch is good for a first down. Tigers.
All right, Brad. 1st and 10 for Hernando. Man running off late. Referee will not throw the flag. Quick feet by the quarterback in the backfield for the Tigers. Brad, it's always fun to see the philosophy for coaches. Some teams, some coaches like to put someone that is a smart quarterback back there, maybe not the best athlete, kind of figure things out, can control the team, can be a coach on the field. And some coaches want to put the best athlete out there and can extend plays and make things happen. Neither are right, neither are wrong. It's just whatever works best for your team.
Heath, the best coaches find somebody who's both.
That's true. That is always a bonus when that does happen. All right, third down, 6 yards to go.
Just like my standing joke standing on the tee out on the golf course. Anytime my playing partner asks me how to play the hole, I tell him long and straight's the play. Down the middle of the fairway, that's where you want to be. If you've got a quarterback who can be a general on the field and also your best athlete, then again, that works out best. You get the best of both worlds there.
Nice arm action there. Deep ball. Pretty ball thrown deep. Nice tight spiral downfield. Communication breakdown there on the outside. No receiver in the area. Receiver pulled off the route. All right, fourth down, Brad. Here we go. 97 seconds remain here in the Jamboree. Going to go with the swing pass.
So, Heath, I'm reminded as you and I sit here on August 23rd calling Jamboree football. Kids have been in school for, 3 weeks now?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm reminded that when you and I were growing up in DeSoto County, we didn't start school until the Tuesday after Labor Day.
Yep.
Mostly because the schools, believe it or not, back then weren't air conditioned. And it was just simply too hot to send kids to an unair conditioned school. So they waited. We went for a half day on Friday before Labor Day. And then on Tuesday afterwards was our first full day of school. But now they start a full, of course, we didn't have a fall break back then.
No.
There was no such thing as a fall break. We had spring break. And we had a much shorter holiday break than the kids do now.
Well, it looks like we're lined up a little bit off sides there, but the referee's not going to throw the flag. Crazy snap.
And that is Lake Cormorant's 6th quarterback of the evening.
Well, we saw a 30 at quarterback for the Tigers. Now we got a 43 at quarterback for the Gators. All right, Brad, we're approaching 1 minute. And Lake Cormorant might get in 2 more plays, or this could be the last one of the night. Let's see what happens here. Little trap play coming out there out of the backfield. Great pickup.
That's old school football right there.
That is. That is.
That is from the olden days. Trap play there. You get a guard pulling, and guard comes over and traps the defender, so to speak. That's why they call it a trap. It's a little bit of a counter play. Action moves to the right, and the runner goes the other direction. And if you play it just right, you find a nice hole, pick up 7 yards like the Gators did just then. Here's a loose ball in the backfield.
Could be a scoop and score situation. Tigers recover it. And Brad, that's going to be the last play of the evening.
I believe it will be. We'll give a nice shout out there, number 33, Bradley West on the fumble recovery. He's excited about that play.
Well, once again, we've already mentioned it twice tonight. We're making up the rules as we go along. The clock's out, and it looks like we're going to... Oh, they're going to put 2 seconds back on the clock. Okay.
Well, and Heath, this is a great example of you can actually use this, right? You can use this situation as a coach. You got to keep your guys focused. If this were a real situation, and let's say that this is a tie ball game, you've got an opportunity to come in here and make a play to win the game. So I like what I'm seeing here, which is both coaches are using this as an example to get a rep in that you might not usually get in a practice situation.
And I got a feeling we'll go to the end zone on this one. We saw a big arm earlier from number 30.
And Heath, we're going to have a timeout. So again, just like I was saying, Coach Nick Nestor is not happy with his young squad over there as his defense was not prepared and not set on that play, and he used a timeout late in the Jamboree, and he's going to use it as a coaching situation, as is Coach Steve McCann of the Hernando Tigers.
Again, this is a glorified practice, and Coach is coaching not as in the game, He is coaching as in a practice, and that is for both sides this evening. So, with that, Brad, we'll say one more final thank you to our sponsors. Once again, we want to thank Dean Dornell and Sonic Drive-In, America's Drive-In, for supporting the Keys to Victory and being our scoreboard sponsor this season. Also, we want to thank Domino's Pizza for being our instant replay sponsor, and they're the official pizza here at Anthony Jenkins Field. You can get Domino's Pizza here at the concession stand, or you can get you a slice on the way home. Once again, thank you to Domino's Pizza. I want to thank Wade Incorporated. They're going to be supporting and sponsoring our starting lineup all this season. And we want to thank all the people over at Hernando Dental Group. You can check them out at HernandoDentalGroup.com. I want to thank Miss Cheryl over at Lenny's Grill and Sub. Miss Cheryl's been a wonderful person in our community. And the last play there, Brad picked off, stepped out of bounds there on the sideline. And we want to also thank Shelter Insurance. We want to thank Randy Wallman and also Brendan Vandenberg over there at Shelter Insurance. Call them for your insurance needs. Well, Brad, if you look at the scoreboard, you're going to be disappointed. But I got a feeling Coach McCann is not looking at the scoreboard. There'll be plenty of things for the Tigers to work on. But there's a couple of positives that they can build upon as well. And it could be a very fun season, Brad. Any takeaways about tonight? Well, let's go over our keys to victory. We baptized guys by fire. We played a lot of guys tonight. Some guys we didn't have on the roster. Some of the players, they didn't have stickers on their helmets. And then we also didn't have any injuries. No serious injuries tonight. That was another key to victory tonight. So those two.
And Heath, the third key to victory, or the third key to the game, was execution. And I think that was demonstrated by that very last play there. Again, I mentioned it, but that's an opportunity to get a rep that you're not going to get in practice. You're not going to practice 2 seconds left on the clock. You recovered the ball. You're within scoring distance. And, if you're in the game, you got a chance to win. You can't duplicate that in practice the way that you can in a game. And so, again, you saw all three of those keys. Heath, to your point, we don't see any major injuries. They got a chance to execute, a chance to work the butterflies out, and, trial by fire. And I think these guys are going to come out ready. They're going to put in another hard week of practice. Roosevelt comes to town, 7 o'clock kickoff next Friday night here at Tiger Stadium, and I think our guys are going to be ready. I will.
Well, talking briefly with Coach McCann today, they'll have film session with the coaches at 1 o'clock on Sunday. And they will be here from 1 to 6. Players will come in at 4. They'll do some stretching. They'll do some running. They'll do some film work. And they'll get ready for the game next Friday night. And that will be the first game of the 2024 season. Brad, any final thoughts as we head out?
Just glad to be back at it, Heath. I'm just glad to be back up here in the booth beside you and bringing our great fans and our great city, Hernando Tiger football. Proud to be a part of it, proud to be by your side for a number of years now, and ready to kick it off for real next Friday night here at Tiger Stadium.
Well, one of us will become a mathlete and we'll actually figure out how many years it's been. It's either 19 or 20 that might be more, I don't know. Years we've done games together. So with that being said, Hernando, thank you for turning out tonight, coming to Anthony Jenkins Field. We also want to thank all the people who watched us on the internet, and we look forward to a wonderful 2024 football season. We want to thank everyone for watching. We want to thank those for coming out tonight and supporting Hernando High School Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, for Brad Bush, I'm Heath Hopkins. Have a wonderful weekend, and next week, the wait is officially over. Football is back, and we'll see the 2024 Tigers next Friday night. Good Lord willing, we'll see you then. Have a good night, everybody.